Welcome to Tangermath Studio D. I'm Kevin Delp.
And I'm Melissa Delp.
Today we're looking at a prototype of On Tour. On Tour is a roll and write game for one or more players, and it plays in about 20 minutes. Now this is coming from BoardGameTables.com on May 20th on Kickstarter.
In On Tour, you're playing as a band touring across the United States, and you're trying to visit as many cities as possible. The player with the most points wins.
Let's look at the prototype components. You have maps of the USA, cards, dry erase markers, and dice. Everyone gets a map of the USA and a dry erase marker. During the setup, you'll assign numbers to 4 states, the same ones on each map, by rolling the dice and drawing cards. These cards are removed from the game.
Each round, a player rolls the 2 d10s and combines them to make 2 numbers. So a 2 and 9 makes 29 and 92. Those are the 2 numbers each player writes on their board.
But you can't just place these numbers anywhere. Each round, 3 cards are drawn and turned face up. For each number, you have to use a different card. You either use the region like North, Central, or East, or the exact state on the card, like Nebraska, Wisconsin, or Virginia. If you do use the state, you circle the number. Circle numbers in your route are worth an extra point. You'll continue playing, rolling dice, and drawing cards until every state is filled.
The point of the game is to connect the longest route in the USA. Your longest route is determined by following the path from lower numbers to equal or higher numbers, without breaking the line or traveling through the same state twice. Basically, you can never visit a state that is lower than the previous stop on the tour.
You count the number of cities that are in your longest route and write that on your map, and then count all the circled cities that are in your longest route and write that on your map. Add those 2 numbers together to give you your final score. Whoever has the highest number wins.
One thing we didn't mention is what happens if doubles are rolled or if all 3 of the cards show the same region, like they're all central. If that happens, then each player gets to place a star in the region or one of the cities that are in the cards. And that star is a wild that can then be used as any number at the end of the game, which could be really helpful when you're trying to connect your cities.
Yeah, and the star, if it's placed in the city, you can circle that too, which helps get some more points, hopefully. So there's definitely some strategy in trying to figure out where you're going to place your numbers on the board. Do I place a 26 right next to a 24? Or do I place a 26 just a couple states away because there's an exact card that matches that state, which lets me circle it, which then could give me more points?
If you connect it.
Yes.
So the cards really do add an interesting aspect to the game, trying to decide the best way to use them and where to put those numbers. But the cards are not always your friend. There was one point in a game where I needed a specific number to connect both sides of the US, and that number was rolled, and I was so excited.
She was super excited.
Until I noticed that the region I needed, South or Central, was not any of the cards on the board, so I could not place that number where I needed it.
Yeah, that happened to me too. The icons are clear, the routes are easily distinguishable, and the regions are outlined well with the 3 main colors. But the lighter and darker shades of North and South are a little harder to determine on the map.
So you can play On Tour with as many people as you have maps for, and the simultaneous play means that adding more people isn't going to make the game that much longer. It actually reminds me a little bit of Number 9 in Karuba in the fact that everyone has the same information, has the same choices, options presented to them, but the decisions they make are going to be so different. It's actually kind of fun to look at the different routes at the end of the game and see how different they ended up being.
So if you enjoy roll and write games or you're not as familiar with them but want to jump on the bandwagon, then check out On Tour, coming to Kickstarter this May. Actually?
Making a few words.
It's actuarially.
Subscribe.
Alright. Just keep going.